Quiet! Someone approaches. Is it Kandar? I can't sense him.
Disappearances are all the more reason for you to leave.
No, Panara. I'm sorry. Sorry, stranger. My friend can't see too well anymore. She mistook you for someone we've been looking for. Things have been rough lately. More than a few of us have disappeared recently. Kanhar's group are just the latest. They set out to search for the missing and vanished themselves. We're giving those buried ruins a wide berth now. They've stood quiet for decades, but now, new yawning sinkholes, eerie sounds at night. I don't jump at shadows, but missing people? That's a warning I can heed. If you head down there, take a look around for our friends, will you? You're a kind soul. Be careful. We've lost a lot of kind souls of late. That pushy noble, Fidor, might know something about that. He arrived not long ago, claiming to own the place. Certainly acts the part. He was friendly enough with his questions about this land, the manor, and so on. Eventually, he tried to convince us to show him around and started getting pushy when we refused, pressuring us to get off his property. He happened along after our people started vanishing, and he's got reason to want us gone. Raises an eyebrow, yeah? All I'm suggesting is maybe it's time someone started pressuring him for details. It's quiet and usually free of nosy locals shooing us away, too scared of the curse. There are a lot of superstitions about this place, but it was nice here, until recently. The details vary, but they all revolve around the town being wiped out and swallowed by the sea. The sort of divine wrath stories that keep average folk from straying from their safe, comfortable lives. Nowhere else to go. The wastes, as they call them, have been a safe haven for the outcast and unwelcome for a long time. We kept to ourselves, never invited trouble. It showed up anyway. Not much. The land just opens up like a yawning mouth without warning and swallows everything above. Noises echo out of the holes sometimes. Beastly sounds, or what you'd swear were whispers.
For a place with such a terrible reputation, this estate certainly gets a lot of trespassers. You're not another layabout squatting on my land, are you? I didn't expect to find anyone living out here. I thought they could help me shed some light on the mysteries of this place. But it turns out they're just idle squatters. I guess you could call that a problem. This place barely exists outside of fables. My family kept no records of it, or our relatives here, other than our claim to the land. It took years of digging to locate these old ruins, and there's still so much more to uncover. So those vagrants say. For all I know, they're just trying to frighten me off. Their missing friends could be looting as we speak. I'm not leaving until I've searched the ruins myself. I don't mind having some company in this endeavor. Most people are barely willing to speak of this place above a whisper, let alone offer any help. Let's try to find a way inside the sunken ruins, shall we? I asked them to leave when it became clear they were up to no good. If they're trying to blame me for their friends running off, or what have you, that is utter slander. They're outcasts, most likely criminals. My concern isn't so much about why they're here, as to what they may be doing to my family holdings. They could be using priceless records for campfire tinder for all I know. My kin feel I'm wasting my life on a footnote. My parents even threatened to disown me if I continued my search, but that only spurred me on. I want to know why this branch of the family was all but forgotten. Lineage is everything in Ultima society. The Queen alone could fill a library with her genealogy. We should have preserved everything we could about this place, but instead, nothing. I must know why this place was buried, figuratively and literally. I asked them to leave when it became clear they were up to no good. If they're trying to blame me for their friends running off, or what have you, that is utter slander. I'm not. I swear I'm as in the dark about these missing persons as you are. The only reason I haven't been to the ruins myself is because I'm not sure how dangerous things really are, and no one was willing to help me.
How about through here?
No, flooded. Maybe if I was a sea elf. How's it looking there? Packed with mud and debris. This breach looks promising. Take a look. Not exactly cozy, but it's not completely demolished. Let's poke around. Can't say I care for the naturalized aesthetic. Keep your eyes out for anything that may have survived the elements. Some answers. What happened to my family here? This place is fascinating. And I suppose I'm curious about the rumors. As long as I don't get murdered by vagrants in a dank cave, I'll just stick with you if you don't mind. Something about that statue catch your interest? Even in such disrepair, I can imagine how opulent this manor must have been. My relatives must have been very influential here. The whole town? That's incredible! My family has wealth and holdings, but not much in the way of titles. Why in the world would they show so little interest in our ties to nobility? That's a sound theory. Simple, but sound. There has to be something here that could reveal the truth of the matter. Let's keep searching. Damn, these papers are practically mulch. Maybe something survived. Help me look. I wonder whose chambers these were. What was their life like before they abandoned it? And why? May I have a look? Merciful Sirabane! This sounds like the Thracian plague. A gruesome disease that decimated the population of Tamriel, Summerset included. It made the Nahatan flu seem like the sniffles. Everyone here could have been wiped out. Still, most people alive had family afflicted by the plague. Why hide it? No, it was a vile creation of the Slode, brewed in their kingdom of Thras. But it's possible it harbored the first outbreak on Summerset. That can't be the reason this place was buried. We're finding more questions than answers. There has to be more. There has to be. Try the room across the hall. For thousands of years? Doubtful. I can see how this place may have gotten its reputation with the locals, but their fears are still unfounded. Down here! I found something! I thought I heard something down here, but the sound must have carried up from this tunnel. It looks formed by erosion. Maybe related to the sinkholes? What about you? Did you find anything else upstairs? Makes sense. The journal mentioned taking the afflicted to the family vaults. It would have been easy for the Korgrads to seal off their estate and leave the town to fend for itself. It's tragic that their compassion probably led to their downfall. Murmurs and splashing. I thought maybe one of those missing squatters was down here, but I think the sound was coming from deeper down. I don't hear it anymore. Is that a person? Hey, you there! Wait! This camp looks recent. I'll bet your missing persons just discovered that these ruins make decent shelter. I have a bad feeling about the fate of these people. Maybe they are further in the cavern. I don't think that was one of your vagrant friends. Somehow I doubt they received a warmer reception than we did. But at least we know the curse of Korgrad has been greatly exaggerated. Whoever we saw just now was a being of flesh and blood. Agreed. Much as I'd like to get to the bottom of all this, we should make finding the squatters our priority. Voices!
They are Rillas, Abamel Shota.
I heard it again. Look! People! That's gone.
Please approach. We know you are here. There we are. Much better, yes. Manners are easily forgotten when you're so far removed from society. Forgive the others, they are frightened. We mean you no harm. Call me Arillas. I am caretaker of this place. We all are. We led our lives in quiet, contented seclusion until the crumbling stone exposed our home to the outside world again. We are not accustomed to visitors. How long? How long indeed? I think there was a time when such things were measured. I can only say that our duty has been passed down many generations. To the saviors, it is because of their sacrifice that Korgrad lives on. We repay the lives they gave us by caring for the town in their stead. We're very protective of it, you understand. Now, might I ask what's brought you to our home? I see. Our humble town would be treacherous to those who have not grown accustomed to its many twists and turns. I would not follow after them, lest you go missing yourself. You possess the Savior's compassion and determination. The last people from above we observed followed a narrow passage to the north. May you be reunited with them soon.
Go on without me. I'm going to speak with Arillas about my ancestors. I'd like to spend some time with Arillas. If these people really are descendants of Korgrad's populace, there's a lot I could learn from them. You heard, Arillas. It's dangerous deeper down. And let's be honest, I'm not going to be much help crawling through tunnels. I'm no warrior, but take a look at them. They're positively sickly. I doubt they want any trouble. More to the point, I think their saviors might have been my ancient ancestors. They may be more trusting of me than other outsiders.
This is the day we've waited for so long. The return of a living descendant. The saviors will be pleased that their sacrifice was not for nothing. They took the sickness from us, from our ancestors, at great cost to themselves. All of Korgrad would have perished if not for them. They preserved us from the sickness of the sea. For that, we will be eternally grateful. We follow the Savior's guidance. It was their wisdom that brought us here and kept us safe for generations. Though buried, Korgrad lives. It's all we've known beyond our stories of life before. It is not so bad as you imagine. Through a narrow passage to the north. Worry not for your companion while you search. We will care for him as we care for all that the Saviors entrusted to us.
These saviors you mentioned, did they happen to be members of the family?
Oh yes, the founders and protectors of this great realm. Does the surface still speak of their great sacrifice?
In a manner of speaking. I came here to learn more about this branch of my family.
It must be fate. Korgrad opened its doors so that you could enter. Oh, I have so much to show you. Here. This is Nempharian, the eldest and wisest of the ancestors resting here. Yes, I can see the likeness.
Don't put me in there! Please!
Save us from these monsters! Please! Get us out of here! They're killing us!
Bloodletting, I think. These cave vermin poke and prod us whenever Arilus needs something to offer his saviors. To what end? I don't know. Maybe they're vampires, or wood elves. Poor bastard. Never seen these vermin in such a frenzy. They dragged him screaming through those doors there, and sealed them shut right after. Small mercies that we can't hear what they are doing to him. When Arilus isn't bleeding us, and tending to his saviors beyond those doors, he spends most of his time with whatever unholiness goes on in the tombs below. His keys may be there. Hurry and set us free before we wind up like your friend.
$10,000 venerations to you.
Bless you. I can walk, but you lead the way. We aren't free yet. We have to get out of here before those cave vermin come scurrying after us. Your friend's dead. If these saviors really are vampires, what chance do we have against them? I suppose if there's any chance, we have to try. Nobody deserves a death like this. I just hope you're right, or we'll all find out.
Welcome to Korgrad, visitor. Such as it is, Forgive our lacking hospitality. Come, speak. I have not had civil company in some time. You arrive upon a momentous reunion of our filial blood, the day we have so long waited for. Bestowing on him the Korgrad legacy, he is taking the first step upon the long road to restoring this house. It will be a demanding journey that will require much sacrifice. His vitality. It will take all he has to offer to restore each of us, but if he is up to the task, he will reap a precious bounty. On the contrary, he will taste immortality as we have, but only for scant centuries, not millennia. In a few generations, our bloodline will be renewed and possess the purity needed to restore Fydur. The embalming process has already begun. When the stone is finished, we will be restored, and he will be a savior. I regret that Fydur must suffer, but his pain will be a small fraction of the sacrifice required to save Korgrad from annihilation. We are Altmer, even in this desiccated state, cleansed of our poison humors to be free of the great sickness from the sea. Now that you see the cure, imagine the disease. Thras, I had always suspected as much. The sickness bore an intent as if designed to spread misery and cruelty. To hear the Slode were involved comes as no surprise to me. It was ever present, ever penetrating. It seeped into every person, every creature, every drop of water, seeking to be quenched. The afflicted dragged themselves to corpulence with each passing day, until their bones cracked under their bulging flesh. We spare them the ravages of the terrible sickness that spread through Korgrad. In exchange, they care for us in this invalid state. So we have endured. So Korgrad has endured for longer than I can clearly recall. To be free of the disease is to be free of all humors. They offer us their tainted blood to sustain our fragile grip on life, and through sorcery, the sickness is purged. Together we flee its horrors. But there was no true escape, until now. Because he is kin, most would not debase their bodies with the blood of men, but I am beyond such concerns. The blood Arilas offered us from the outsiders was free of disease, but unsustainable nonetheless. Fydur will be different. My vain attempt to stop the sickness from spreading beyond our borders. The people rebelled against their confinement and nearly broke the quarantine. I was forced to destroy the sea walls and flood the town. To spare them and others from the gruesome death that was sure to come, or so I hoped. From that day forward, our only concerns were for our kingdom below.
Soon this misery will finally be at an end. I thought this day would never come. I thought I would go mad. Too long. There is little to occupy the time. The monotony. If not for Father's elixirs to quiet the mind, I think we would be no better than Arilas and his stock. Worse, no doubt. Will I even recognize the world above? I hope not. I have spent, I don't know how long, in absolute stagnation. I would welcome a walk through oblivion over this banal familiarity. Don't tell me what's to come. I want to see it for myself.
For what reason do you barge into our home, as if you have the right to trespass our lands as you please? You may believe our condition diminishes our station, but we are the rightful rulers of Korgrad. You will offer deference as such. The other trespassers, they intrude as you do without our sanction. Aurelius ends their vagrancy and sees that they are put to use. There may be a place for them in Korgrad when their restitution and reform are concluded. The return of our pure-blooded kin means our long dormancy is nearing an end. We will soon be able to return to the world above and begin the long process of restoring Korgrad to its former glory. It will take all kinds to accomplish this. The sickness has robbed us of fruitful lands, so our servants have been reduced to eking out a savage, meager subsistence in this lightless domain. They have few interests beyond survival, and fewer interests still for continuing their own lines. It is not your right to question us. We are the law of this land, and we will be obeyed. Their crimes are minor as is their punishment. They will have their freedom soon, unless they continue to defy us.
How healthy you look. I barely remember the feeling of anything, really, aside from the slight ebb and flow of sluggish blood in and out of brittle veins. It was the only way. The choice was this long internment or a brief, horrid end. Our hope was to linger until we could be free of the disease. It was not a false one, thanks to that dear boy. No, it was never meant to be this long. To see hope within our reach and have it denied, we couldn't endure it. He will be well cared for. He will not be reduced to the suffering we have. You have my word.
God, that was... I could feel my skin tightening as the stone drew the moisture out of me like a wineskin. I don't suppose you have water. My tongue is a whetstone. Right. I suppose I can keep up. I'll just lick the damp off the walls if I get woozy.
Saviors, I've failed you. They've stolen our future, but I swear I'll rob them of theirs in kind.
Don't let him kill us!
I can hardly believe it. You found Henrig and Mindaril, but where are the others? No, you've done more than anyone ever has for us. If anyone's to blame, it's us. We survive out here by sticking together, but we let fear keep us from doing what needed to be done. Was it quick? I can see. Tortured. Why? Just for the fun of it? Gods, I'll heed curses more closely in the future. The locals were right to avoid this place.
If it weren't for you, I'd have wound up a husk like those monsters, withering in that pit for who knows how long. I owe you my life. Even now, I still feel for them. What a miserable fate. I wish it could have been different. That Korgrad might have been redeemed. I used up most of my means traveling here, but take this with my gratitude. I'll stay with these people a while longer, if they'll have me. Best to stick together, and perhaps my standing will shield them from the intolerance my kind have for Neberah. I don't know. Too often my kin seem content to forget ugliness exists in our society. If nothing else, someone will want to know about cave people harboring the Thracian plague. I hope someone aside from Sirabane knows what to make of that. My eyes still feel like they're covered in grit, but I think I'll be back to normal with a drink and a good night's sleep. The latter might be hard to come by until we are far from this place. My name may be all the means I can lend them. I doubt my parents will offer any support. Who knows if I'll even be welcome home when I return. I might be as much a vagabond as they when all is said and done. I'll do what I can, though.